calmness to the second stage of spiritual development, we begin to develop the witness. The witness is not doing anything. The witness is watching actions occur. The witness is not thinking anything. The witness is watching thoughts come and go. The witness is not feeling any emotions either. The witness watches, notices waves of emotions rising and falling. The witness sees everything gets done. The witness stands back. It's like the mind divides into two parts. One part is an active part in which part of our consciousness is involved in the performance of activities, walking, talking, eating, creating, and the second part, which stands back passively, does nothing, but simply observes. In the beginning, we develop this witness consciousness during routine activities or even meditation, activities that don't require much effort on our part, and for short periods, because it does take some effort to break this habit of being completely absorbed in our thoughts and emotions and our actions. Later, as this perspective of the witness grows, it begins to permeate our daily activities, and it becomes more and more effortless. This second stage then gives way to a third stage where we begin to feel that I am not the doer, that I am merely an instrument of a higher intelligence, of a higher power. As we begin to enter into this third stage, we also start to let go of the old habits, the old need to satisfy the ego's desires. We begin to feel that the needs of others are as important as our own. We begin to see and find joy in noticing the synchronicity of events, the consequences of words, thoughts, and actions. We start to see that we can use words, thoughts, and actions to bring joy to others and avoid suffering. We begin to realize that the divine is working through us in so many ways. This brings us to the fourth stage, where we feel profoundly, I am that, and that I am. Consciousness itself, the witness itself, becomes the object of our awareness. We become aware of what is aware. This realization occurs first in very deep states of meditation, which we refer to as samadhi. But as it progresses, it begins to permeate our daily life. That stage, God realization, occurs. Saints and mystics from all spiritual traditions have tried to describe it, but quickly realize that words, the more one talks about it, the more one thinks about it, the further from it goes. Because words are only representations, and it is literally not what you think, not what you can say about it. Therefore, silence becomes the preferred means of communicating this level of reality. As Swami Ramatirtha put it at the end of the 19th century, the first yogi to come to America, he said, "A God defined is a God confined." What this is all about can't be talked about, and it can't be witnessed either. The above stages do not occur in a straight line. They rather move in a kind of zigzag fashion because of the distractions of the ego, the modes or moods of the gunas of rajas and tamas, confusion, doubt versus unnecessary activity, nervousness, and also because of karma and our habits of mind. But in general, this is the direction of our spiritual growth. Sometimes we may have glimpses of the later stages of our true identity, even in the first stages, when we are simply trying to cultivate calmness. Our identification with the body and the movements of the mind and the emotions gradually is weakened and is replaced by an identification with that which is beyond time and space, that which is the self, pure consciousness, and which is ultimately divine. Spiritual development does not depend upon whether we have special visionary experiences. It does not depend on whether we have the development of special psychic powers. In fact, if they do occur and we feel the need to talk about them, this is generally a manifestation of the ego. As the ego always has preferences and is driven by an emotion of wanting to be loved or wanting to control, if you ever have a doubt as to whether your ego is invested in a particular outcome, ask yourself the question, do I have a preference? Would I be even slightly disappointed if a certain outcome did not occur? Or would I be elated if it did occur? If the answer to these questions is yes, then it's the ego which is involved. Of course, the long answer to this question, who is it that wants a particular outcome? Who is it that is afraid of a certain thing? The short answer, of course, is it's only the ego. The long answer to this question, who has the preference, who wants this or that, is no one, because you're not the ego. You are that pure witness consciousness, which is ever blissful, 24 hours a day,